Welcome to NACTV Reads the News. My name is Cathy McGrath, and I'm one of many volunteers that help create programming for our station. NACTV can be seen on MTS Channel 30 or 1030, Westman Cable Channel 17, Bell Satellite Channel 592, or online at nactv.tv. These programs are made possible by our volunteers, staff, advertisers, as well as donations made by you, the viewers. If you are enjoying your NACTV experience, please consider supporting us by either donation or volunteering. You can contact our office at 204-476-2639 or at nactv@wcgwave.ca. And today's issue of the Neepawa Banner and Press is for Friday, December 20th, 2024. And just a reminder that there will be no issues on December 27th or January 23rd, as the staff's getting a well-deserved break. So, moving on. The annual ice show delivers Christmas cheer. And there's a number of pictures here from the performances from the Neepawa Figure Skating Club's annual Christmas Ice Show. And you can see rows of skaters and young skaters and old skaters and skaters that can skate way better than I can. And let's see, I think there's more pictures in here. And there is the Chipmunks and More at NFSC Ice Show. And pictured here, the Neepawa Figure Skating Club, coached by Kim Smith, held its annual Christmas Ice Show on December 15th. Attendees were treated to an assortment of group and solo performances. Pictured above, Alisa Nadeau expertly glides while holding her skate during her solo performance. And the top middle, senior can skate performers Rebecca Baraniak, J.M. Cabatino, and Elizabeth Sawadsky took to the ice as Alvin, Theodore, and Simon from Simon and the Chipmunks. And the bottom middle on the left, a scene from the performance of Believe from the Polar Express, performed by the Star Skate group. And the bottom middle, a scene from the performance of What Christmas Means to Me, put on by the Junior Star Skate group. And at the bottom middle right, Annika Shepard during a spotlight moment in the show's grand finale, Merry Christmas. The finale was put on by the Junior Star Skate, Senior Star Skate, Can Skate, and Senior Can Skate members. And, pictured on the right, McKenna Sumner is pictured during her solar performance, exhibiting a sharp focus. And a special delivery just in time for Christmas by Owen Devereaux. Truckloads of donations dropped off to the Neepawa Food Bank. And pictured, Amanda Nottingale of the Salvation Army Neepawa Community Services Food Bank accepts donations dropped off by Ryan McLaughlin of McLaughlin Chevrolet Buick GMC on Friday, December 13th. The automotive dealership, with assistance from the Chamber of Commerce, other local businesses, and several individuals, recently organized a fundraising campaign for the food bank. And you can see the McLaughlin and several employees of the auto dealership unload the 2 full-size trucks worth of donations gathered recently. Santa's Helpers recently delivered a huge gift to the Salvation Army Neepawa Community Services Food Bank, and they delivered it in style. Instead of the standard sleigh, they arrived in a pair of 4-wheel drive turbocharged chariots. On Friday, December 13th, dealer principal Ryan McLaughlin, along with staff from McLaughlin Chevrolet Buick GMC, dropped off 2 truckloads of donations to our local food bank. The contributions consisted of a mix of toys for families this Christmas, as well as a huge amount of the day-to-day necessities, such as canned goods and household items. Ryan McLaughlin told the Banner and Press that while this fundraising effort was started by the local vehicle dealership, its success extended to the entire community. This result wasn't just McLaughlin. We put the idea out there for the campaign, but we wanted to take it one step further. So we got the word out through the Neepawa District Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber then dispersed the messages to all the members, and then the members and even non-members reached out to us on this asking to help. So in true form, this really was a complete community event, said McLaughlin. Everybody else really chipped in. As well, McLaughlin said that many customers saw what they were trying to do and immediately wanted to assist. He cited one example of a gentleman from Austin who returned to the dealership with a few bags and boxes full of groceries and toys. We had people that were customers and even non-customers just come in and say, "Can we drop off some donations here?" So it was really through the whole community that the word of mouth spread, and that's why it was successful. Completely amazing. Community Ministries Director Amanda Nottingale was thankful to Ryan, his team at McLaughlin Chevrolet Buick GMC, and the entire community at large for this tremendous support. "This is completely amazing," stated Nottingale. "This has been a Christmas season like no other. There are about 187 families on our support list this year and nearly 300 kids. So just a huge thank you to Ryan and everybody who could donate, whether that was their time or money or an item. We so appreciate it, and I know the families we try to assist will really appreciate it as well." In conclusion, Ryan McLaughlin said they hope to be able to do this again, even bigger and better in 2025. Everybody, in one way, shape, or form, stepped up, and we were able to fill 2 trucks this year. I want to do 4 trucks next year. We'll see what we can do, start the campaign a little bit earlier, and people will see what kind of impact it has. While the support at the end of the year, it is amazing the spirit of generosity doesn't have to be just a Christmas thing. Donations to the food bank will be gladly accepted at any time, and not just non-perishable food items. Groceries such as paper towels, toilet paper, diaper, and cleaning products would also aid Salvation Army Neepawa Community Services support efforts. And Right in the Center by Ken Waddell, A Year of Turmoil and Blessing. Towards the end of my Christmas column last year, I wrote, "I also believe in prayer and have prayed for dozens, if not hundreds of people. I plan to continue to do so, but as some of you know, my wife and I, but especially my wife, would appreciate your prayers. We are grateful for all our medical people, but they can only do so much. Prayer is needed for sure." Last fall and Christmas season, my wife Christine was in pretty tough shape. She had been dealing with various symptoms for a couple of years by then with Sjogren's syndrome, intermixed with an outbreak of shingles. Then last December, she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and faced a Whipple procedure surgery on January 4th at Health Sciences Center. It was a 6-hour surgery and about a 14-day stay in hospital. There were some after-surgery setbacks, but we finally got her out of a difficult hospital stay, and after the surgery healed up, she was put into a very rigorous chemotherapy treatment. The good news is the diagnosis was fairly early, as was the surgery and chemo sessions. It was a tough go with Christine losing a lot of weight, and she certainly caught up on her sleep. Many days were spent in her lift chair, sleeping and trying to eat. It took months for her appetite to come back to a point where her weight stopped dropping. There were blessings along the way, including many visits from friends. Together we made the decision that I would keep on working, and so I was not with her every day, all day. Our office is only 5 minutes from our home. I relearned how to do laundry, some shopping, cooking, and housekeeping. Our son Rob lives close by, and he kept an eye on us. Son Mike phoned every day. Friends and staff kept checking on us. There were little bright spots. We bought the Verdant Empire Advance in June, which seems a little silly, but that whole deal brightened Chris's days as we renewed some connections and made many new connections in her home community of Verdun. On many of the weekly paper delivery trips to Verdun, Christine has been able to make the trip with me to meet with staff and customers. Our last drop-off on the way home is in the village of Alexander, and the place we stop is at Dundee Designs, which is owned by Shirley Lloyd Davies. It was a cool reconnect with Shirley as she did some of our earliest computer work for our newspaper back in 1989 through a publishing company in Brandon. She has a little cafe in her store, and one of the items she sells are delicious egg salad sandwiches that are supplied by the Honey House in Rivers. Ever since childhood, Christine has loved egg salad sandwiches, and those ones hit the appetite reset button and were one of the first foods she actually enjoyed after months of battling an upset digestive system caused by the cancer and then the chemo. Another store that has nice snacks is Highway Grocery in Verdun, a place where we also drop off papers. Some of their offerings appeal to Christine's taste buds as well. Chris had her chemo stopped in the late summer. Tests showed that she was on the mend, and although it's been a long haul, she is getting much stronger. The walker got put into storage a little while ago, and the cane often gets left behind, and I've been pretty much kicked out of the kitchen and somewhat out of the laundry room. We are very thankful for her returning health, support from staff, family, and friends. There was a lot of prayer by many people, some of whom we did not even know. Christmas might be a little less stressful this year. In poor health, even in sickness unto death, we must remain thankful to God for his provision and mercy. Christmas is a great time to think upon God and his Son Jesus. We are born, we live, and then we die. God is good through it all, and it is incumbent upon us to all live in his blessing and pass it along whenever and wherever we can. And again, the disclaimer that the views expressed in this column are the writer's personal views and are not to be taken as being the view of the newspaper staff. And Home Buddies by Rita Friesen. And just like that, it's Christmas. It comes as a surprise that as I age, time speeds up. I recall asking my father, as he lived his days in a long-term care facility, if the time seemed long. He was puzzled that I asked and explained that the days bled into each other. The days, weeks, months, and then years all flowed quickly. I also recall being thankful that he wasn't anxious about the passing of time, or perhaps aware of the passing of time. I understand better now. Way back when I was an elementary school student, we practiced writing the digits of the new year. It required thought. And then when the teachers told us that we would one day write 2000 as the year, we were a tad unbelieving. And now it takes no effort to think 2025. The 70s and 80s aren't far away in my thoughts. Preceding each new year, we have celebrated Christmas, an event that surpasses the excitement and anticipation of the arrival of the new year. Perhaps because for Christmas we made wish lists and New Year lists were more got to get better lists. What I do recognize is how the celebration of the day of Christmas has changed over the span of my almost 79 years. Childhood held mystery and dreams, meals at the grandparents, and playtime with the cousins. In those early years, our family exchanged gifts on the 24th, after the chores were done and all was ready for the big day. The custom allowed us time to enjoy the gifts we received before heading out, first to one set of grandparents, and then hours later to the other set. Fine times everywhere. As a young parent, there was the work of finding out what the children really wanted and was realistic. The whole gambit: train sets, Lego, easy bake ovens, Holly hobby dolls, and then the Cabbage Patch creations. Lots of Barbie stuff, model cars and craft supplies. So much excitement and anticipation. As the family grew in size and numbers, there was the juggling act. Which day or which part of a day is spent at the in-laws? How do we play fair with everyone? We made it simple for our children. No expectations for the day itself. We scheduled summer holidays with everyone joining us. We had great camping: Lake Louise, Drumheller, Blue Lake, Spruce Woods. It was the family time and memories, not just a particular day. Grandparenting was a gift in itself. As we aged, the family became more concerned than we were about us being alone on Christmas Day, trying to make time for visits and certainly calls. Friends and neighbors inviting us to join them. And it was good. This year will be different again. Now there are great-grandchildren to be all excited and ramped. Close friends will ensure, for their sake, that I am not home alone for the entire day. I appreciate that a great deal. I am also truly okay enjoying the comfort of my own home. good food and music and memories. So many memories, a lifetime of memories. And so, just like that, it's Christmas again. And I am thankful. Blessing and peace to you all. And words from a grateful heart. Faithfully yours, Neil Stroshine. I don't know that I have ever done a column like this before, but I felt the need to share some personal thoughts with you this week. They are words from a grateful heart to a community that has helped me become the person, partner, and minister I am today. First, I want to thank Ken and Chris Waddell for the privilege of writing and submitting these columns each week. Faithfully Yours has been part of the Banner and Press for roughly 27 years, and I have greatly enjoyed the weekly challenge of putting my thoughts into a document of 600 words or less. To the above, I must add my thanks to those who read this column each week. I know you also read the columns by Ken Waddell and Rita Friesen. I am very honored to share a spot on pages 4 and 5 with them. We deal with different topics, and we each have our own unique writing style, but we share 3 things in common. We love God, we love our community, and we want to be an encouragement to you all. Next to my family, especially my wife Catherine, we have walked through good times and challenging ones together. Your affirmation of my calling and support of my work would never have been in doubt. You have shown me the importance of loving and accepting people just as they are, and for that I will always be grateful. Then I want to thank the church congregations who have welcomed me into their lives since I moved to Neepawa. First Baptist Church, you were the ones who invited me to become your minister in 1996, and who patiently watched me change from being a loyal Albertan and a bit of a redneck, I suppose, to a fiercely loyal Manitoban. When I left FBC at the end of December in 1999, I had no idea what I would do next. I just felt a strong urge to stay in Neepawa, and on the first Sunday of Lent, 2000, I began to understand why. I knew then that God was calling me to be a minister at large, to serve small communities and give them the best I could every week, whether attendance was 50 or 5, which some weeks it was. To all the churches I have served in the past 24 years, my heart-filled thanks. To the residents of Neepawa and surrounding area, thank you for the love and support you have shown to me and to my family. You were there 19 years ago when Catherine had her stroke. Thanks to your prayers and encouraging words, she continues to get better. We are grateful for the twice-weekly visits from home care workers who help with her mobility exercises, and for the many who wave, smile, and encourage her during the summer months when she and her scooter can be seen around town. Finally, we thank you for the comforting words, hugs, and acts of kindness you shared with us in the days following Catherine's son's death. We always knew this was a loving and caring community. The past weeks have shown us just how loving and caring it really is. We love you all and are grateful for all that you have done. Now, you might think this is a farewell column, but it isn't. It's my way of saying Merry Christmas to people who have given me far more than I can ever give in return. This column will return in 2 weeks as together we link faith to life in 2025. And Faith and Family by Tara Konhofen, Waiting for Christmas. I was reading in my Bible in the early mornings, as I always do, and listening to some of my favorite Christmas worship songs, journaling and praying. My kids started sleepily making their way out of their bedrooms one by one, crawling up onto my lap for a morning hug and to say good morning. This particular morning, my 7-year-old came upstairs not as a sleepy boy, but as a boy who was on a mission. He was fully dressed, no sleep in his eyes, and came up at a full run. Then as quickly as he rushed in, he came full stop beside the Christmas tree and turned to me in panic and said, "Where are the presents? Didn't you wrap them yet? Christmas is almost here." I couldn't help but smile at his panic, knowing that at 7 I would have felt the same way. I calmly explained to him that the presents would get wrapped, but not go under as early as we had done them in the year before, because our littlest son wasn't born quite yet. But this year he is almost 1 and will most definitely rip into presents if they are under the tree too early. Still, knowing this information, every day he comes upstairs and looks longingly under the tree to see if they've appeared overnight yet. How much is this like the Israelites waiting the birth of a king that would come and save them all? How long did they wait? How often were they impatient and excited? How many times did they think it might be coming and be disappointed? And how many of them, and possibly us still today, came to hear of his coming and felt a level of disappointment or confusion when the gift they thought they were receiving came as a human baby and not a mighty and powerful ruler in glory? So I am determined as a parent, but also as a child of God, as we await Christmas Day and the joy and family time we spend opening gifts and blessing each other, to remind my kids and myself of the reason we celebrate, and that sometime the greatest gifts come in small and unsuspecting packages and will bless us far more than we realize. To teach them that the one true gift that is the reason we all live and breathe and are free today is because of that small baby. No crown on his head, born in a place where no baby should have to be born, to parents who didn't come from glory or kingship, to save the world and all the generations to come from a life apart from him. Emmanuel, God with us. And we come to thumbs up and thumbs down. Thumbs up to all the caring people that helped me when I broke my hip, from Linda Jerome of Neepawa. And thumbs up to Third Crossing for the delicious noon Christmas dinner. It was all decorated and the food was great. Sweet and sour meatballs, real turkey, real dressing, mashed potatoes, and real gravy and carrots. Each table had their own plate of dainties. It's a lot of work, but the atmosphere was so happy. They used to do a full supper for each wing at Country Meadows, but not anymore. Budget cuts, I guess, from Gail Cathcart of Neepawa. And another thumbs up from Kevin Cook of Neepawa. I had an opportunity to read the article on the Yellowhead Center, and then in this week's paper, some of the opinions. First, I think it was a good piece to have, and because the Yellowhead Center is such an integral part of our community, why would concerns with it not be front page news? Secondly, although I do agree that having a volunteer-run board is getting harder and harder to have because volunteers are hard to come by, the way we have the board at the Yellow has not worked for quite some time, and it isn't anything to do with the people on it. Anytime you have something made up of user groups that are there because of specific team or function, they are going to have that team or function interest first and foremost in their mind, not the longevity or finances of the facility itself. I don't know that any of the commentators would have been one of the 6 to 8 at the AGM, and nor was I. But spending any time at the rink, the concerns from user groups and staff about older equipment failing and parts getting harder to find and more expensive certainly brings up concerns over finances and futures. So I think that the article earns my thumbs up for stating some things that may be difficult to hear, but likely needed to be said. The hub of the community deserves people to get their head out of the sand. And there's also a picture. Emma Peterson performs at Arts Forward. Manitoba Country Music Association's 2023 Female Artist of the Year, Emma Peterson performed a Christmas concert on Saturday, December 14th at Arts Forward Cultural Centre in Neepawa. This was the second concert of the season, hosted by Kaleidoscope Concerts. Emma was joined on stage by band members Lachlan McLean and Derek Peters. Your Listening Ear by Delcy Martin. The holiday season, knowing what you don't have to do. This season is filled with advice of how to make the season magical, what the latest presents are, and seems to be a never-ending list of to-dos and don'ts expectations. In my personal counseling practice, what I see ringing true over and over is that the holiday season isn't easy. People are struggling because they want so badly to live up to what is expected of them, and that they genuinely don't want to hurt anyone by not following through with expectations. The expectations weigh on us and create a feeling of failure if we don't live up to them. Maintaining your personal peace is not necessarily about knowing what to do, but is about knowing what you don't have to do. First off, you don't have to buy so many presents that you put yourself into financial crisis. Your loved ones, children included, would rather have a few thoughtful presents and many memories than many expensive presents and a few memorable moments. You don't have to buy expensive presents. Try heading to the thrift store this year or using buy-sell groups on social media. Get a large print of your loved one's favorite photo and thrift a frame. I love the idea of creating a basket of someone's favorite snacks from the grocery store. You don't have to break your routine. If you normally go to the gym during the week, there's nothing saying you cannot continue to go over the holidays. If you are on a strict diet, you don't have to break away from that because of an invisible social pressure, unless you want to. You don't have to drink alcohol. There is an enormous social pressure to drink, and people should be able to refuse alcohol without being questioned if they are pregnant, ill, or a social pariah. You don't have to be happy all the time. Holidays are really hard for a lot of people, and many folks forget that the season is not always synonymous with joy. You don't have to do all the holiday baking if you find it to be mentally and emotionally draining. Trust me when I say that your co-worker will completely understand when you don't show up with that tray of baking. Bake for your immediate family. Bake with your immediate family. They are the ones you will pass on your baking memories for generations to come. You don't have to overcommit and agree to things that don't align with your values. If you are feeling too burnt out to attend holiday party number 10, then stay at home in your jammies and watch bad Christmas movies. You don't have to neglect self-care over the holidays, and in fact, the holidays are an opportune time to increase self-care. Have that bubble bath, read the book you've been dying to start, and call that person you'd meant to see and book a coffee date. Plan the holidays with yourself in mind. And the town of Neepawa receives age-friendly Manitoba Community Collaboration Grant. And pictured from left to right, Brenda Ton of MASC, Cassandra Groen, town of Neepawa, Justin Chikulski, Handyvan, Michelle Ferguson, Hand, and Yvonne Sisley from Arts Forward. The town of Neepawa, along with key local organizations, Hand, Handyvan, and Arts Forward, is proud to announce the receipt of the Community Collaboration Grant from Age Friendly Manitoba. This grant is designed to support initiatives that enhance the quality of life for seniors, and Neepawa is now set to offer a variety of exciting programs and services to local residents. Thanks to the generous funding in the 2025, residents of Neepawa will have a Silver Club initiative with access to a range of free activities and services aimed at promoting social engagement, mobility, and overall well-being. Here's what residents can look forward to. Free monthly grocery trips. On the third Wednesday of each month, Handyvan will provide free grocery trips for residents living in their homes, offering convenient transportation to and from Safeway on Seniors' Day. This initiative ensures that individuals with limited mobility can access essential supplies and groceries without any added stress. Monthly activities and workshops. Residents will also have the opportunity to participate in a variety of activities throughout the year. Highlights include a summer trip to Riding Mountain National Park. Enjoy the beauty of one of Manitoba's most stunning natural attractions with a guided trip to Riding Mountain National Park. Bring and share vacation pictures, a fun and interactive activity where participants can share photos and stories from their favorite vacations, fostering connection and reminiscence. Workshops. Educational sessions will be offered, including an RRSP, will writing, and insurance workshop aimed at helping seniors navigate important financial and legal decisions. Card games. Friendly and relaxing card games will be held, providing an enjoyable way for participants to socialize and engage. Stretching with athletics therapist Nicholas Roonan Robinson. This session is designed to keep participants moving and teaches them the proper techniques required for everyday movements. Social hours and dances. In addition to the workshops and activities, there will be monthly social hours and dances, creating opportunities for community members to meet new people, have fun, and enjoy live music in a welcoming, inclusive environment. These new programs are part of a broader effort to make Neepawa more age-friendly and inclusive for all residents. By working together, Handyvan, Arts Forward, and the town of Neepawa aim to foster a stronger, more connected community, ensuring that seniors are empowered to live independently while staying engaged and active. We encourage all eligible residents to take full advantage of these wonderful opportunities. For more information or to sign up for activities and services, please contact Cassandra Groen at 204-476-7614 or recreation@neepawa.ca. Together, we are building a more vibrant, age-friendly Neepawa. And there's even an ad with all sorts of details with the dates for the 2025 grocery trips, the social hour and dance dates, and activity dates for 2025. And Lessons and Carols, a service of lessons and carols, a joint performance at the United Anglican Shared Ministry, was hosted on December 15th. Performances were given by the Neepawa Area Community Choir, the top photo, the hymns, the middle photo. The hymns is HIMS because it's all men, and the Santo Domingo Choir immediately above. And the Agassiz MLA Full Report by Jody Byram, the Agassiz MLA. As we head into the Christmas season, Manitobans are fortunate to have organizations and businesses in their communities collecting donations of money, food, clothing, and toys for families in need during the holidays. Whether it be to a hamper or a food bank, I hope Manitobans consider making donations so everyone can share in the joy of the season. The holidays are arriving after the first few weeks of a new provincial legislative session, which included the Manitoba government's annual speech from the throne. The speech was the NDP's preview of their plans for the year ahead, and it showed very little spirit of giving without a vision or strategy for Manitoba's rising crime, increasing healthcare waits, and overcrowded schools. And the speech was a short-sighted failure in matter of affordability and our province's economic health. Despite his talk, Wab Kinew is offering nothing to lower grocery prices, reduce taxes, or grow the economy, other than leaning on projects and investments launched by the previous Progressive Conservative government. The NDP's throne speech pledged to reduce grocery prices by ending supermarket companies' anti-competitive contracts is especially hollow for consumers. The Premier promised last year to decrease prices at grocery stores, and Manitobans know that hasn't happened. Manitoba now leads all provinces in food inflation, and more families are putting food back onto store shelves because they can no longer afford it. An upcoming hydro rate freeze mentioned in the throne speech is a promise the NDP have recycled for years and is coming from the government that has no plan to pay for it. The NDP have also given themselves the power to raise hydro rates at the cabinet table after increasing them by 1% this past spring. Manitoba Hydro is $25 billion in debt while continuing to incur losses and needs to renew its aging infrastructure. Meanwhile, Manitobans pay 33 cents of every dollar on their hydro bills to cover interest on that debt. A rate freeze today would bring rate shock and surging prices tomorrow, and any savings for consumers through a hydro rate freeze would be wiped out by the NDP's upcoming fuel tax increase. It's the same lack of accountability from the Kinew government on other taxes. Instead of investing properly in education this year, they are giving school divisions funding increases of less than inflation and have hit homeowners with a $148 million education property tax hike. The NDP will eliminate the school tax rebate on property tax in 2025 and put an end to the education property tax phase-out. At the same time, they have cancelled plans for construction of 9 schools that were all to include more than 770 daycare spaces. Manitobans are paying more and getting less from this government and are wondering where all their taxes are going. It's a good question. The previous PC government left Kinew with a surplus of more than $250 million last year, and federal transfers are increasing as Manitoba has received $4.3 billion in equalization that began in April. However, just a year after forming government, the NDP have pushed the province into a $2 billion deficit. With their mention of economic development in the throne speech, the NDP are giving Manitobans more false hope. In fact, this government has put Manitoba into an economic tailspin while driving up unemployment from 4% to 5.9% this year. Canu's first order of business in government was to shut down the Provincial Economic Development Board, and Manitoba has lost more than $5 billion in direct foreign investment during the NDP's first year in office. This Christmas season, people across the province are getting optics rather than action in the Premier's smoke and mirrors approach to affordability, taxation, and the economy. The session will resume in March, and I will continue to work with my colleagues on the opposition side of the House to push the Canoe NDP government to do much more and much better for Manitobans. And we move into some sports. Minnesota Ladies Bonspiel results. Pictured above, the first event winners, Catherine Yanchitsky, Josie Salos, Amy Smith, and Megan Stone. The second event winners, Heather Lewis, Carol Dalrymple, Jackie Nyland, Betty Ann Aiken, and Joan Tegg. And the third event winners, Lynn Gustafson, Charlene Matter, Brenda Alberg, and Glenda Rack. The Minnesota Curling Club was a buzz on December 6th and 7th as the Minnesota ladies held their annual Bonspiel. In total, 12 rinks competed in the 3-event spiel. Friday night was retro throwback themed where ladies showed off decades of hidden gems. The rinks were treated to nachos after the first game, courtesy of Minagro Limited. Saturday was mathletes and athletes themed, and again there were a variety of great outfits to be seen. The day was filled with lots of good curling, silent auction draws, 50-50s, costume judging, loony broom, minute to win it contests, and a delicious supper served by Missy and her staff. Josie Salos was the lucky winner of one of the grand prize draws, 2 Saturday passes to RFM, while Serena Ross won the $150 gift certificate to Clarso Spa. Live music by Brad Johnson and the talent rounded out the evening. The final saw the following event winners. First event, sponsored by Sunrise Credit Union, Catherine Yanchitsky, Josie Salos, Amy Smith, and Megan Stone. Second event, sponsored by Minagro Limited and Heritage Co-op, Heather Lewis, Carol Dalrymple, Jackie Nyland, Betty Ann Aiken, and Joan Tegg. Third event, sponsored by Minnesota Pharmacy, Lynn Gustafson, Charlene Matter, Brenda Alberg, and Glenda Rack. We would also like to thank Synovus Energy for their generous donation to the event, as well as our other community donors, Minnesota Golf and Country Club, Dairy Isle, Drive-In, Farmhouse 50, Inspire Studio, Gold Leaf Boutique, and Minnesota Home Hardware. Thanks also go out to our regular ladies teams who did their part to make the spiel a big success. And a hectic week for the Tigers hockey by Owen Devereaux. The Neepawa Tigers are heading into the Christmas break with a flurry of games on their schedule. The team played 5 games over the span of 7 days, with 3 of those on the road. The first of these 5, however, was at home on December 11th against the Bertel Falcons. Cohen Kilbacki had a 6-point night, 4 goals, 2 assists, to help lead Neepawa to a 9-5 win. Carter Crookshanks, 2 goals, Brad Pezlowski, Ian Foster, and Wyatt Negevin had the other goals for the Tigers. Negevin also added 4 assists to his stats on the season. Jace Eros picked up the win in goal for NACI. The next night, on Thursday, December 12th, Neepawa traveled down the highway to Minnesota to take on the Chancellors, where they would win by 4-1 margin. Zach Platt scored late in the first period off of a power play opportunity. Then early in the second, Kane Lapointe scored what would eventually be the game winner on an unassisted effort. Minnedosa's Zachary Lamb scored his 13th of the season for the end of the period to cut the lead back to 1. But in the third, Wyatt Negevin and Cohen Kilbacki each scored to ensure another Neepawa victory. Goaltender Austin Michaluk made 37 saves and earned his 4th win of the regular season. For the 3rd night in a row, Neepawa would be back out on the ice, this time in Verdun versus the Golden Bears. By this point, the rigors of the schedule finally caught up to the Tigers, and they fell by an 8-3 score. Cohen Kilbackie scored his 19th and 20th goal of the season, while Ian Foster earned his 13th for Neepawa. None of the Tigers were able to keep pace with Virden, with them being led by a 4-goal night from Jaden Browning-Lozinski. The team would get a bit of a break over the weekend, but returned to action on Tuesday, December 17th in Sandy Bay against the Badgers. This game featured a lot of offense from both sides, with Neepawa closing out the night on top by a 7-5 score. The Tigers consisted of 7 different individual goal scorers. This victory improved the Tigers' regular season record to 9-5-0 and had them in 7th place overall in the league standings. Before the arrival of the Christmas hiatus in the high school sports schedule, Neepawa played 2 more games. The first on Wednesday, December 18th at home against Vincent Massey Vikings, and the second on Friday, December 20th in Dauphin versus the Clippers. Both those games were played just after the Banner and Press publication deadline. The results are available online at www.westmanhockey.com. The Neepawa Tigers will return to play in 2025 with a home game against the Crocus Plains Plainsmen on Wednesday, January 8th. Opening face-off is set for 7:30 p.m. at the Yellowhead Center. And the Neepawa Titans within striking distance of the first place in MJHL West, again by Owen Devereaux. The Neepawa Titans have closed the gap between themselves and top spot in the MJHL's Western Division. The Titans recently passed the midway mark of the regular season schedule on a bit of a winning streak, having picked up 5 straight victories up to Wednesday, December 18th. These results had the hockey club just 5 points back of the Dauphin Kings for first place in the standings. Excuse me. Over the course of December, Neepawa has also separated itself from a pair of teams trying to catch them in the standings. The Titans played the Virden Oil Capitals and Waywacy Kappa Wolverines twice each over the past few weeks and came away with 4 regulation wins. These results had Neepawa 16 points clear of Virden and Wayway in the East and securely in a playoff position at this time. While anything could happen in the second half of the season, the Titans appear at this time to have their own playoff destiny securely within their own control. Neepawa could be in an even better position heading into the holiday hiatus, as they have a pair of games scheduled against the Northern Manitoba Blizzard on Friday, December 20th and to Saturday, December 21st. The Blizzard are on a run of their own as of late and are in second place in the West with a 19-13-0-1 record. That's just 1 point better than Neepawa in the overall standings. If one of those 2 teams are able to win both games set for the Yellowhead Center this weekend, it will put them in a strong position to be able to chase down Dauphin in the second half of the year. The results of those games were final after the Banner and Press publication deadline, but those details will be available online at www.mjhlhockey.ca. Each one of those games will also be broadcast locally on NACTV. Check the local cable schedule for dates and times for those replays. The Neepawa Titans will return to action in 2025 with a game against the league-leading Steinbach Pistons, 25-5-2-0.48 points on Sunday, January 5th. Start time at the Yellowhead Center is set for 6:30. And the Neepawa Farmers fall to the Border Kings. Weekend results from around the Tiger Hills Hockey League by Owen Devereaux. A pair of goals from Kyle McDonald were the only offense the Neepawa Farmers were able to muster in a 5-2 loss to the Boissevain Border Kings on Saturday, December 14th. McDonald's goals bookended 5 straight scores from the Kings, which included 2 from Jagger Thomas and another pair from Nathan Flodell. Tyson Pringle scored 1 other goal from Boissevain on the night. This result drops Neepawa's regular season record in the Tiger Hills Hockey League to 2-5-1-0 on the year, while Boissevain improved to 5-2-0-1 and have jumped into first place in the Western Division. Unfortunately for the Farmers, this loss drops them into 5th place in the East. Minnedosa defeat Reavers. A huge victory for the Minnedosa Bombers over the weekend as they pick up a 2-1 win over the Rivers Jets. Bryson Werbicky Mallet scored the game winner with just 18 seconds left in regulation off of a Ryan Hino pass. That combo also contributed to the first goal of the game for Minnedosa in the first period. Just 13 seconds after the Bombers' goal, however, Rivers' Keaton Moore tied it back up. This is a very important victory for Minnedosa as it allows them to keep pace with Rivers and Killarney in the standings. The Killarney Shamrocks are the first in the East Division with 15 points, while Rivers has earned 14 on the season. The Bombers, with this regulation win, are 6-1-0-1 on the year and have an accumulated 13 points as we near the halfway mark of the THHL schedule. Carberry lose to McGregor. It turned into a wild third period in Carberry on Saturday, December 13th, with a 6-goal outburst between the hometown Plainsmen and the visiting McGregor Wild. After the dust settled, however, it was McGregor who prevailed, picking up a 5-3 win. Both teams scored 3 times in the last 20 minutes, with Zane McConnell, Ryan Vetch, and Carson Nakanetki collecting goals for Carberry. McGregor counted with a pair from Tyler Gibson and a single for Justin Minetti. Ultimately, it was a pair of goals early in the first period from Braden Klippenstein and Drake Shepard that were the difference in the night for the Wild, who improved to 4-4-0-0 on the year. And more news. Lions support the Salvation Army. The Neepawa Lions Club made a donation of $1,000 to the Neepawa Salvation Army Christmas Hamper campaign recently. Presenting the check to Amanda Nottingale were Lions members Jason Nadeau, Don Chuby, and Tom Borsa. And BU Brass perform in Neepawa. The Neepawa Middle School and Neepawa Area Collegiate Institute held their band booster fundraiser featuring the Brandon University Brass Ensemble earlier this month. The fundraiser concert was held at the Roxy Theatre and had a silver collection for admission, which will help reduce student band trip costs, and pictured the brass ensemble during their performance at the Roxy Theatre, directed by Dr. Edward Bach. And Neepawa Titans deliver holiday cheer to Kinsman Courts 2. And Tuesday, December 10th, members of the Neepawa Titans Hockey Club spread some Christmas cheer in the form of doing decorative door wraps across Kinsman Courts 2 in Neepawa. And it's hard to see, but they are wrapping the doors in wrapping paper just to give it a bit of Christmas cheer. And moving on to some more interest. And in case you ever wondered, that this is the staff of the Neepawa Banner and Press wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And pictured are Ken Waddell and Chris Waddell, Owen Devereaux, Casper Warren, Diane Warner, Katie Aff, Gloria Kerluk, Sandra Unger, Matthew Gagnon, Bernie Miker, Joel Asselstein, Rhea Apita, Shannon Robertson, Gage Unger, Ranzel Santos, Ron Santos, and missing is Betty Pearson. And these are the happy faces of the people that bring you the news. And we get holidays greetings from our political, municipal, and provincial government, and federal. Dan Mazer, Member of Parliament. Dear neighbor, Christmas is a time to give generously and share blessings with those closest to you. It is also a time to reflect on the year that is soon to pass, for all our community achieved, and to recharge for a new year upon us. During this time, I also want to extend my wishes to our men and women serving in uniform. We will be forever grateful for your service to our nation, defending our cherished freedoms. It is because of them we can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year and relish in excitement for 2025. Christmas is also a time when our hearts are drawn closer to God's greatest gift to the world, His Son, Jesus Christ. This season, I encourage you to raise a glass, gather with your loved ones, and enjoy a memorable holiday feast. Moments like these are what make the holiday season special. From my family to yours, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And the Honorable Anita R. Neville, PCOM, Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba. Season's greetings from the Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba. The festive season now upon us, a time that traditionally inspires exceptional kindness, charity, and goodwill among Manitobans. Our shared community spirit and willingness to work together for the common good shines especially brightly during the holiday season, a reminder of just one of the reasons we are so fortunate to call this province home. It is such a simple pleasure to see our businesses and neighborhoods aglow with seasonal lighting and decorations, offering a sense of holiday fun, along with a colorful salute to the season. Warmed by shared spirit of community, our province truly becomes a winter wonderland at this time of year. As the King's representative in Manitoba, I am pleased to express season's greetings to all citizens, along with my best wishes for a safe and happy holiday. May the warmth of the season fill your hearts, your homes, and your communities now and throughout the coming year. That is from the Honourable Anita R. Neville, PCOM, Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba. And Jody Byram, MLA for Agassiz. As we approach the holiday season, I find it essential to pause and reflect on the year that has passed, while also expressing my sincere appreciation for each and every one of you. This special time of year serves as a powerful reminder of the values that bind us together: community, compassion, and unity. Throughout the past months, we have encountered various challenges and celebrated numerous achievements, all of which have contributed to reinforcing the ties that hold our community close. I am continually inspired by the incredible and resilience and unwavering spirit demonstrated in our communities. Many acts of kindness and generosity continue to be part of every community, and especially this time of year, making it a truly wonderful place to call home. As we come together with family and friends during this festive season, let us not forget those who may be facing difficulties. It is crucial that we extend our hands and hearts to help those in need, embodying the essence of the holiday spirit through our willingness to support one another. The true magic of this season lies not only in the joy we share, but also in the compassion we show to others. I wish you and your families a delightful holiday season, filled with warmth, peace, and happiness. May the upcoming year bring forth new opportunities for growth, collaboration, and prosperity for us all. Together, let us continue to build a brighter future for our community. With heartfelt wishes, Jody Byram. And Greg Nesbitt, MLA for Riding Mountain. As the festive season approaches, let us take the time to appreciate what we have as Manitobans. On a daily basis, we hear stories of severe weather events, natural disasters, political strife, and the horrors of war in other regions of the world. Too often, we tend to dwell on negativity rather than rejoicing about the positive things in our lives right here in the province of Manitoba. The Christmas message speaks of faith, peace, hope, and love, which brings with it the anticipation of all things new, a brighter future, and hope for a better tomorrow. The holiday season isn't easy for everyone. I urge you to take the time to call or visit your loved ones, your elderly neighbors, and be kind to each other. I urge you to take the time to slow down and enjoy all that life brings and offers. I am proud to continue to represent the residents of Riding Mountain constituency in the Manitoba legislature, where I take seriously the role I play in passing legislation to enrich the lives of all Manitobans, not just for today, but for future generations. I wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and all the best in 2025, by Greg Nesbitt. And from Wab Kinew, the Premier of Manitoba. On behalf of the Government of Manitoba, I want to wish all Manitobans a very happy holidays. Here in our province, we've accomplished a lot together over the past year that we can be proud of. As we look ahead to the new year, I see a lot of reasons to hope. I want Manitoba to be a place where everyone can build a good life. Our team will keep working together to deliver those results to you. I hope you have a chance to celebrate with friends and family and experience all the joys of this festive season. Happy holidays to you and your loved ones, and my very best wish for the new year. The Honourable Wab Kinew, Premier of Manitoba. And from Mayor Brian Headley from the town of Neepawa. As the mayor of our great community, I extend my warmest greetings to all of you this festive season. It has been an exciting year filled with progress on projects such as the Park Lake reconstruction, the Regional Health Care Center, and the purchase of land to expand the community. Together, we have faced challenges and celebrated huge wins that will strengthen our community for years to come. As we gather with family and friends to celebrate the joy of the season, let us take time to consider those who have struggled over the past year, whether it was through the loss of a loved one, loss of a job, wildfires such as Jasper, floods, or war. Let us reflect on the spirit of compassion and generosity to those less fortunate and extend a helping hand to our neighbors who may be facing their own challenges. Let us also celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, and may the warmth of the season fill your hearts with love and gratitude. Looking ahead to the new year, I am optimistic about the opportunities that await us. It's easy to focus on the negative, but let's reflect on how much we have to be grateful here in Neepawa. Together, we will continue to build a community that thrives due to our inclusivity of all people and the forging of sustainable new ideas. I extend my heartfelt best wishes to each and every one of you for a joyous Christmas and a new year filled with hope, health, and happiness. Thank you for being part of our wonderful community. Here's to a festive season filled with love, laughter, and the promise of a brighter future. Warmest regards from our family to yours, from Brian and Tanya Headley. And also noted, all these local businesses have put Christmas greetings into the paper. And I think it's important that we do support local because they're part of our community too, and they keep us going. And Mayor Daryl Shipman, Municipality of Westlake Gladstone. Season's greetings from Mayor Daryl Shipman, Municipality of Westlake Gladstone. On behalf of the Municipal Council of Westlake Gladstone, I extend season's greetings to all of our residents, ratepayers, families, and friends. And to people all over the world, I wish you all the best this holiday season and throughout 2025. As we celebrate the strength and love of family, friends, and community, may joy be our gift at Christmas, and may faith, hope, and love be our treasures in the new year. Thank you for all the support and encouragement you've shown Council and myself this year. May the holiday season bring you endless reasons to smile and a heart full of gratitude. Season's greetings, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from Mayor Daryl Shipman. And Reeve Rick Sonnenberg, Municipality of McCreary. Season's greetings from the Reeve Council and staff of the Municipality of McCreary. As we approach the holiday season, we would like to take a moment to extend our warmest wishes to all residents of the Municipality of McCreary. This time of year is a wonderful opportunity to reflect on the spirit of community, generosity, and kindness that make our municipality such a special place to live, work, and grow. Whether you're celebrating with family and friends or taking time to relax and recharge, we hope this festive season brings you peace, joy, and a sense of connection with those around you. May the new year bring you good health, happiness, and prosperity. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Warm regards, Rick Sonnenberg, Reeve. Mayor Ray Muirhead from the town of Carberry. Wishing you a Merry Christmas and safe travels this holiday season. On behalf of the Mayor, the Town Council, and entire community, we hope your celebrations are filled with joy and warmth. Here's to a Happy New Year. May it bring you happiness, health, and prosperity. With warm regards from Ray Muirhead, Mayor of Carberry. And Reeve Carl Snezick, Rural Municipality of Rosedale. Season's greetings from the RM of Rosedale to all our councillors, to our CAO, to our admin ladies, and our public works. Thank you so much for all the hard work that you've done this past year. Also to our ratepayers from my family, to all of your families, may your season be full of joy and the best of the new year. From Carl Snezick, Reeve of the RM of Rosedale. And again, more ads from local businesses that need our support. And what would Christmas be without Helen's Kitchen, Helen Drysdale's Recipes. And this year we have peanut brittle, chocolate crinkle cookies, chocolate banana bread, and coconut raisin bars, And there's more. There's more. May all that is beautiful, meaningful, and brings you joy be yours this holiday season and throughout the coming year. And again, ads from local businesses that need our support and more out of Helen's Kitchen. Cheese buns, apple muffins. Remember, all these recipes are written out completely in the paper. And also, we remember them. This is from the Carberry and Area Community Foundation. For thank you to everyone who supported the memory tree this year. We appreciate the support you give so that we can continue our work in the community. And listed are the names and donated by from the Carberry Community and Carberry and Area Community Foundation. And Helen is still going, and again, ads from local businesses that need our support, that we should support because they are local. So Helen has offered cinnamon fruit rolls and cherry winks and more. And then it looks like we've got a little bit more time left. So I can read Looking Back by Caspar Warren. 125 years ago, December 20th, 1899, Arden. The Independent Order of Foresters initiated 7 new members this month. The order meets the second and last Tuesday in each month in the hall over McCamus and Boughton's store. 100 years ago, December 19th, 1924, Arden. The second lot of picture slides has arrived in the district. Over 100 beautifully colored slides illustrating conditions among the Atlantic to the Pacific. These pictures were to be shown Thursday night of this week at Salisbury and Friday evenings at Glenholm. Further announcements as to when they will be shown in Arden. Brookdale. The marriage took place in Winnipeg on December 10th by the Reverend G.A. Matheson of Olive May, youngest daughter of the late Thomas Gowan, and Mrs. Gowan of Brookdale, to Archie McLean, son of Mr. and Mrs. William Hallam, Sr. of Moore Park. Norgate. We are glad to note that the directors of Kelwood Agricultural Society have decided to continue the fall fair. What would a summer fair amount to without the display of vegetables usually shown in the fall fair? The Cooperative Poultry Association branch of Fox Warren shipped their first carload of poultry last Tuesday. 60 members contributed poultry amounting to over 2,000 birds, averaging 7 pounds apiece. 75 years ago, December 15th, 1949, a Neepawa mother returned home from work at noon Friday, December 9th, to watch firemen battling a blaze which gutted her tiny 2-room frame dwelling at the foot of Hamilton Street. Mrs. Violet Pittman, mother of 3, lost all her belongings, including a new coat, in the fire. Her children, Lauren 12, Cecil 10, and Betty 8, arrived home from school for dinner to find a smoking shell that was once their home. The fire is believed to have started in wood stored behind the kitchen stove. A 3-year business partnership is soon to be dissolved. Sam Levine, co-owner of the Economy store in Neepawa, wishes to be with his family in Winnipeg, where he has liquidated his interest in the business. Operation of the store will be carried on by Al Schulman, who, with Mr. Levine, took over the Economy store 3 years ago. 50 years ago, 1974, and pictured Audrey Pankhurst quiets the horse known as Hare Krishna, which had not been hitched to a sulky in over a year. At this time in 1974, Tim Pankhurst was hard at work training the horse for harness racing. Harness racing, once extremely popular in this area, has pretty well died out, but there are signs that it may be making a comeback. Hare Krishna, standard bred valued at $10,000 and owned by Charles Green of Winnipeg, is presently being trained by Maurice Tim Pankhurst of Franklin. Mr. Pankhurst hopes to be able to establish his own Windermere Pine stable in the near future. The horse was sired by Hurricane Dick, who was owned by Jim English of Neepawa, and, although he did not race last year, performed on the Grand Circuit as a 2-year-old. The Grand Circuit includes Montreal, Toronto, and London, and Hare Krishna also was scheduled to a race in New York until a virus forced his owners to withdraw him. 20 years ago, 2004, Manitoba Agriculture Minister Roseanne Wolchuk unveiled a plan Monday calling for an overhaul of the province's agricultural department. Under the plan, 20 of the province's ag offices will be expanded and renamed Growing Opportunities GO centers. 23 other offices, including Neepawa, will be run as secondary GO offices. And not to be left out, Kids Scoop. And this is all about the holidays, making holiday scents, a notebook for scientists, fizzy cookie shapes, quizzes, tests, and all sorts of ideas to keep busy over Christmas. And that concludes the paper for December 20th, 2024. This will be the last issue until 2025. So I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season and a good new year. Thank you.